Okay, welcome. We are up and running. It is time for Scrapbook Live. It is November. Oh my goodness. Happy November. And we're going to be talking about my kit that I got from the scrap room. So nice. I'll tell you about like my little drama last night. And I just thought like, oh my gosh, this kit is so good. Now I will say I don't usually peek. But I looked when I got the email that has the cut file because they always send me like the cut file download. And when I looked at that email, I was like, oh, it's about home and stuff. Oh, that would be really good. Let me go find some pictures. And then I got really distracted because you guys, I went to Disneyland last month and I'm just like way distracted by that. Okay, I will show you the proper pictures. So this is me with Mickey Mouse just after I entered the park, and this is me on my way into the park with my digital ticket. And like I figured out digital tickets, guys, so like I deserve a round of applause for that. Okay, what happens? Bring it back. Come on, I'm here. Come on, follow the camera. There we go. And so yeah, I figured out the digital tickets, had a great time. I actually went to California for a work trip, and then we got to do a little fun on the side, which was great. But I was like thinking, how did like Disney pictures fit with the kit? We'll have a look. I think it's gonna work. And so I was totally going to use this cut file because like it's really, really nice. I'll show you. Their cut file this month is this one, Our Home. And so it has the two banners, it has the florals, it has the letters that you could kind of fill from behind. Like, so nice. And I'm not a new computer, so I tried to open up the Silhouette Studio and it didn't work. So I uninstalled it and I downloaded it and I installed it and it didn't work. And I tried more things and I'm like, why isn't it opening a window for me? Like, I don't understand. It's probably a multiple screen issue. I probably just like need to swipe something or do something. I couldn't make it work, so I didn't get it cut out. I was like, afterwards, I'm like, oh, I have the brother scanning kit. I totally could have done that because I could just plug in. Like, I know what to do with that. Anyways, that didn't happen, but that's okay because we also have a beautiful sketch, and that's going to work perfect for what I want to do today. So this is the sketch that I'm going to be working with. 2 photos, circle in the background. I think I have my circle cutter, so I think we'll be okay. And then, yeah, just a little bit of embellishments and fun stuff. And I think it'll be sweet and fun and done. And that'll be not my first Disney page, my second one that I have made so far, which is pretty good. It's been like less than a month. So, oh, am I somewhat in focus again? I held something up to the camera and it's like, hey. Lynette said that would be a cute file to use with Disney pics, and then add a separate tag that says away from home. And then you can nestle a set of hidden Mickey ears in the flowers. Away from home. Oh, good idea, Lynette. That's a super fun way to use that cut file. Oh, hello, Joe.
Oh, you said hi to me?
Yeah, wow. Joe is home for the weekend. He's been off at school for 3 weeks. I haven't got to see him. Okay, so let me show you what's in the kit. Then we can get started on scrapbooking. Kit's so fun. And I'm so enticed. I should have taken this downstairs when I made my coffee. Pumpkin spice. Okay, I keep holding this up to there and then I lose my face. Pumpkin spice coffee sample this time, which is so perfect for the season. So that was great. In addition to my flavors of the month kit from the Scrap Room, which you can see at scrap-room.com. I also ordered an extra embellishment kit. So I have a few little extras that I'll show as we go through each one of the kits. Okay, let's do the screen share. We tested this, so it should work. Okay, well, this will work instead. And then I can flop between cameras and we should be good to go now. Sorry about that. Like, we literally just tested it. And it's like, great, that'll work fine.
We believe
Okay,
you, Alice.
next
It's okay. We believe you.
you believe me. It's like, yeah,
We
yeah,
believe you
you said
tested it.
you tested. Some people were here, I swear. Okay, so the first kit is homemade from Cartabella, and you can see it has kind of some fall, like homemade vibes. Oh no, you can't
Alice,
see because the camera's.
your phone's moving.
Oh, it has weird tracking. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna try tracking me the whole time. It has fancy software in this camera. It's fancier than me. Okay, but I've got the full 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and the sticker sheet looks super fun. I like the little banner pieces. It has some little farm animals. I happen to be a crazy chicken lady still. It has baked goods, which are great from Costco, and it has some good like little word pieces, and those are always fun for me. So the whole embellishment, um, the whole sticker sheet. And then as usual, we get 3 sheets of pattern paper and 2 sheets of cardstock. This is just a nice white cardstock. And then we've got 3 sheets of pattern. So let's have a look at that. This first one is really pretty. It is so pretty, I have to say. Like, I wasn't feeling those fall vibes right now because it snowed, which sucks. but this is beautiful. Oh, that's neat. Okay, can you see what they did with their paper? They've got, darker, like they got the stripes, but some areas are kind of faded and worn. So some areas are darker than others. That's kind of neat. And then we've got a beautiful yellow, and it's a warm yellow, not quite as bright as yellow mustard. Not quite. And then we've got it's like a soft sagey green in the background with the little swirls and some reddish polka dot. It's red, it's not like the brightest red ever. And then, ooh, that's like a small pattern. So look what they've done with the floral pieces, right? You've got like teeny tiny busy background, and then the larger like bold florals. We've got all of those florals, but then you also have some really great neutrals to use with them. So mixing and matching. Like they've just picked the nicest pieces of this kit. Not that I've seen the other pieces, but they've picked the nicest pieces of this kit. I'm allowed to assume that because they do their job so well. Okay, and in my extra embellishment add-on kit, we've got some embellishment kit, Cartabella enamel dots. So these, oh yes, those match perfectly. Look at these enamel dots. When you just have the right ones and they just match so perfectly like that, that's just beautiful. Okay, so I quite like this. And honestly, like I could use this kit, like with the colors for my pictures. I know I'm at Disney, but it was they had everything decorated for Halloween there. So even Mickey Mouse is wearing a pumpkin. There were big pumpkin decorations up above the thing. So it kind of all, yeah, it fits right into the whole thing. So this would actually be a really great option for my page today. So we'll see if that wins. And next up, we've got Paige Evans Garden Shop. Ooh, this one's full of flowers. Paige Evans, it's going to be full of flowers. Okay. So first off, we've got this sheet of stickers. Now, from looking here, you can see like a little perforation along the edge. So it looks like it was like a double sheet that you get half of it. I'm just guessing. From that. But yeah, so this sheet of stickers, it says 98. I don't think there's 98 on here. So I think with the both sides, you would have had some. So you get some of the stickers. There's 2 sheets of this blue cardstock, and it is Blue Star. It's pretty. And it matches perfectly with this blue in this flower here. That's gorgeous. Okay, so 3 sheets. We've got this bold floral. It's a lot. But florals like that, you never see the whole thing at one time, right? It's all good. Oh, the back. I'm cheating. I'm looking already, you guys. So there's a nice kind of orangey sorbet color with this fun little pattern on it. This is beautiful. Like, look at this paper. I just want to, oh, I love it. So I love that one a lot. Very pretty. And then on the back, thankfully, she didn't put something I'm in love with on the back too. Like that would have just been mean, right? Like this is nice and it's functional, but like, I love this. I'm going to use that. Let's be real. Oh, and this is cute. Like it's cutesy, right? There's little birds, there's hummingbirds and like little sparrows, robins kind of birds on it. Little birds. And then we've got a yellow polka dot. So very like three great colors. I love that they're different colors. So for when you need your backgrounds, but I'm gonna confess, like that one on the back of the plaid, that would never see the light of day because I'd be like maximizing my use of that plaid. So that is the papers that are in here with the Paige Evans. This kit was called, did I tell you, Garden Shop? And in here, as an extra, in my extra embellishments, I got a bunch of die cut pieces. There's, oh, this is my camera doing this all by itself. It thinks it knows what I need. Over here, come back. Technology is pretty great. I totally meant that when I said it. Yeah, so here we go. Oh, I got like a lot of pieces actually. Like this is like part of a die cut pack and it's a lot. So I love it. Actually, this piece is my favorite. I love that. I would use that a million times over. I could use a ton of those. In fact, I bought a die cut that is like that. Shannon says I thought it was just me. Oh, blurry and fuzzy. Yeah, that happens when I get to the camera stuff gets too fancy, right? Oh, that's not gonna want to go back in there. Oh, I'm convinced it. Don't break my favorite pieces. Okay, so good stuff in there. I don't think it's quite the right fit for the pictures I have today, but I actually have some really good pictures that would work good for this kit. I am feeling the scrapbooking vibe right now. Okay, next up we have Simple Stories, the Simple Life kit. And this one has very subdued colors. It is very subdued. So you'll see, I'll hear a little less excitement in my voice. This is not Alice's natural color palette. But let's check it out because I like the patterns. So in here in the embellishments, let's start there because those are always fun. There's a big variety of stuff in here. This is fun. So I have, first off, there's these little button pieces. Nice, right? And then there's some die cut pieces. Oh, that's nice. I like the little tags, the butterflies, florals. And then there are these foam backed chipboard or cardboard, cardstock stickers. Thank you. I'll get there. And they've chopped it. So if you have a kit, you might not get this section of that piece, right? You might get different pieces of those stickers. Happy memories, our family and blessed. So good to use all of those. There's back in here. So we've got a feel for the kit through the embellishments. But let's check out these papers. So I actually really like the design of these butterflies. I think that's really pretty. And there's super nice floral. It's more of a monochromatic color palette. Yeah, Lynette says those neutral colors with bright photos would be awesome. I know, like then the photos would really pop, right? But I'm definitely drawn. It's like, give me busy, give me crazy, give me all the colors and I'm in. Okay, so we've got this looks like wallpaper. That makes me think of wallpaper. And then we've got a nice little floral. And it has colors. So there's like pinks and greens and blues and almost like a purplish, but they're all very mute. It's like super turned down. Oh, and then there's a nice wood grain. That's pretty. I would totally use that in a heartbeat. And then we've got 2 sheets of this Bible paper. It is, let's see, cinder. Yeah, cinder. Okay. So nice papers, good variety. I love having a stripe with a kit. That just makes it so much more usable. Yeah, it's actually really beautiful. I wouldn't say it's the first kit that I'm going to run and use just because of the muted color palette, but I probably have some really good stories to put on this actually. Maybe something that's not so loud. And if you were doing a heritage album or something about some relatives from the past and you kind of want to give it like a little bit of a vibe, that would be perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I didn't look. There was more. So in my embellishment kit, I've got the full sheet of stickers. Let's see, family, beautiful life. There's actually really beautiful sentiments. I do like this stuff. I've talked myself into it. But I'll tell you, like, when stuff isn't my thing, like I don't know that I would ever use that light. Like that's not my thing. But the rest is nice. My Easter pictures would be good on that set because the kids always have a mix of colors in their clothes. No one matches anything. So that's right. Oh my gosh. When my little niece was born, they're dressing this little baby girl, little so sweet, little sweetheart. They're dressing her in pastel pink, right? Of course. Well, what does her dad wear all the time? Bright orange. Bright orange. I tell ya. We did a few black and white photos because I was making her baby album. Like, so adorable. First girl in the family. I was thrilled. And yeah, that was crazy. Okay, well, let's have a look at this. A Vicky Bouton paper we've got. And let's see, this is called Paint Shop. I actually haven't even seen this set from her. Like, how crazy is that? I have not been looking. I have been distracted. But first off, we've got part of this sticker sheet, and it's chipboard stickers. So these are chipboard. So will they stick? That remains to be seen. Will they stick forever? Who knows? Have they improved that at all? I like it a lot better when American Crafts makes things that are foam backed than cardboard's backed, let me say. I think that's her newest run after Sweet Rush. I think so because I'm like, I can't be that far out of the loop, right? But there's some nice designs. This looks cut funny because they gave me this whole strip instead of chopping up the little bit, so I received that piece. And then in the die cut pieces, I've got a variety from her papery. It's called papery. And they're actually really, really light, like little tiny light papers, like not substantial. Great if you're doing lots of layers because then you don't have that thickness. So if you're working in a journal of some kind, these actually would be great for that too. I'm a little bit of a sticker snob or die cut snob, honestly. Like feeling the weight of these is not my favorite because I like the heavier cardstock. Okay, now I'm curious. Anybody else? Lindsay says, I don't think I ever put a sticker down of any brand before adding glue, right? You just don't trust it. It's like they're a scrapbook company, but they don't know that part of their job is glue. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. But anyways, paper. So in here, I have 2 sheets of white, but you actually get 2 sheets of Fig Swirl, which is a better color match to this, but they didn't have that. But in your actual kit, you'll get that. My kit gets shipped out a little bit early with their design teams so that I'll have it in time to share with you guys. So super nice and sweet that they'll do that for us. Okay, 3 sheets of pattern paper. Let's enjoy this together. So first off, big, bold florals, very Vicky vibe, but it's it's a much more muted tone. Like if you're looking at her Sweet Rush paper versus this, like, oh my, like totally different vibe. Okay, this thing is gonna decide to look at what it wants to look at, but we'll convince it to look a little bit more in the middle. Ooh, Look at that rich purple on the back of that. Ooh, that's nice. And actually, oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, is there even any purple on here? It is, but it's a very muted. It's almost like a brown and purple. Brown and purple. That was weird. Okay. Purple polka dot. It's so rich. It's like plummy. And then it's a neat looking stripe. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one ever, but it's good. I like having a stripe. Nice floral. And then we've got a smaller version of this floral. It looks like the same. No, it's slightly different flowers. And then, oh, interesting. Yeah, those are interesting. I'm not sure that I love it, but it's interesting. I could see me using it. See, this is what my phone is doing. That did that automatically. I can't convince it. It's like the action is here. It's like, let's go look at Ellis's belly sitting at the table. That's just what everybody wants to see. Thanks for that. I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that feature off. Like, my husband thought that was super cool. It'd be great if it's on my face and I'm moving around all over the place. Like I'm over here and then I'm over here. But when in this situation, not fun. If anybody's like, oh, that's so easy to change, right? The collagey looking side. So Nash, this they like this. So no, sorry, wrong one. This side of this one, right paper. Right paper. Yeah, it's collagey. Yeah, it's interesting. So this actually would also go very well with my stuff. Now I'm torn. Do I go with this one or do I go with the other one? Oh well, this could be the breaker. So in my embellishment pack, we've got the words. And I love these words. These are actually fantastic. I've seen them like every time I think in one of Vicky's kits, and they're always so good. This was a perfect day. Oh yes. The small things on the bright side. Magical, tell the story, this life. It's like, you know how when you buy a new car and then you see that same car everywhere else and you're like, oh my gosh, everybody has one of these cars. Right now, I'm looking at these words with the lens of Disney in my head. And it's like, she wrote these for Disney. Like, obviously she didn't. They're coming out with this other kid, but they're kind of perfect for Disney, aren't they? So with that being said, maybe I'll go with this. Maybe I'll do this one. I really thought I was going to choose the other one. I love the colors in it, but we'll go with this one. I think that'll be fun. And I'll get an extra challenge because I get to use that little thin paper. I'm going to have these chipboard things. I've got this fun words. The fun words alone are going to be enough. Fuzzy cut some of the flowers from the paper as embellishments. I think you're right. This one's perfect for your picks. There we go. See, as long as we all agree, we're good. like that would happen, right? Like we would all agree on them. Okay, so I do have the different, I think I have that other fig swirl cardstock if I need it, but let's be real, I'm not really a cardstock gal, and I like white more than like not white. So we're gonna pop those up here and take a swig of this. And there we go. So for anybody that didn't see, the cut file to go with it this month is this Our Home cut file. Amazing, so beautiful. And I could not figure out my machine to get it to work because I'm using a new computer. I should have just pulled out the laptop and see, like I could probably done it from there. And then I was thinking of using this sketch right here. I think that will work out really well for me. So that is my plan. Maybe I'll just hold this up a little bit and I'll pop it up here. So that it's close to where we need it. Okay, let's grab a couple of things. The circles. Okay, I've got my circle cutters. We've got all the fabulous papers. Now, of course, like I like these big florals, but that might be a little overwhelming, and I don't know that that's gonna be the best. So let's try to think. Ooh, I like that purple. Okay, I'm not feeling that paper, but this is nice. I think I'm gonna use this as my background actually. And then I can play with these patterns in the stripey bits and stuff. Okay, so I think that's good. It's funny because I'm so used to just doing my own thing, and following the sketch is like a little bit like intimidating. Lizzie says, I love that you still have those circle cutters. I use them a lot. I love these things. I have the one that's the big circle somewhere too, probably underneath here. But I have like the bigger circle one too, and those are amazing. They get used all the time. Oh, see, there's my phone following me. It's like, follow me back to the table. Okay. Let's trim off the photos first a little bit. I'm just gonna leave a white edge around them as I cut them. I tend not to cut them ahead of time because, you know, that would be extra prep work. So if you were looking at this kit of supplies thinking, oh gosh, that looks like a wonderful kit, then I would encourage you to check out the Scrap Room. It's at scrap-room.com. I get the flavors of the month because then there's 4 mini kits, which are super fun. But they also have a double shot kit. So if you need a little more stuff, like a little more oomph in that kit, you can get the double shot. So it's like 2 kits that are a little more beefy. And then they have different add-ons that you can get if you like having a few more embellishments like what I ordered, or if you want more cardstock. They've got different options. Anyways, check it out. They're super great. It's a small business. With, you know, Black Friday coming up, we've got a lot of push to buy all the great things, but you know, when you spend money at a small business, it really matters. So just put that out there, and you're supporting good people. So anyways, those are my 2 pictures that are going to go into my circle. So I wanted to cut them to kind of see how big is my circle going to be. So I don't think they're going to fit exactly in the circle. Ooh, unless I get my bigger circle cutter. Ooh, that's a good question. Is it down here? Okay, give me 1 second and I'll see if I have. Oh, good. I found it. Okay, so the big one is quite a bit bigger. Was it a bug? And these ones are small. Ooh. But I think if I use the inside track, this will be the better choice. Okay, so bringing out my old school stuff. Now, because I'm going to use this as my background, and I don't really love that anyway, so it wouldn't be that helpful. I've kind of got these choices for the circle. Now, I did like that idea. It's a very smooth transition, that follow me feature. I know I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn it off, but probably not during a live stream. So I liked the idea of fussy cutting these out. I don't have a lot of the florals here right now, but what else do I have? So I've got the circle, and then I've got like a big piece here. Actually, wouldn't that big piece like be good if it was all flowers just across there? That might be really cool, actually, instead of just having a strip. So I want to have enough to fussy cut. Oh, I love it. Yeah, then I can use the purple for some strips. Okay, that's gonna work. So I'm gonna use this blue to do this piece. I'm going to. So one thing about this, it comes with a template guide, so it will show you like which one of the blades. I want to use the smallest blade, but they're kind of color coded. This would help if it was on here. So they're color coded, and then the blades that you have with them, which are right here, totally right here on my desk. They just zip around that frame, but then you use the different blade to get different sizes, and you can mat things. Oh, they're here. See, I took them out. So the blue one is the one that's going to make the biggest. Okay. Now I'm going as tight into this corner as I can so I can leave as much of this other stripe as possible. And as long as I don't cut these edges off, there we go. Okay. And then just making sure that everything holds and stays in place while you do the cut. I think I missed a little piece of it. There we go. Perfect circle every time. Slightly off of camera because of tracking. That was nice. And so easy. And then I still have like a lot of this stripe, as much as I could leave, right? Still available. And then the fussy cutting, that's going to be torture, but it's good. You guys can like help and we can entertain each other as we fussy cut. Oh, this is nice. There's actually like something on the cutoff strip. So there's like these little calligraphy type pins. If you know of a different name for those, go ahead and correct me. But those look good. Okay. See, I might actually even want to mat this with like a white to create a little more pop. We'll have a look and see in a little bit if I want that or not. Once we start getting all the rest of the pieces, I might want more definition between this and the background. But because I use the smallest blade or like the largest blade on the inside, I've got other spaces. Here we go. So now I'm going to have a strip and a strip at the top and bottom, like the sketch, which I put to the side so I could leave it on the camera. I'm really good at that. But so strip and strip. They did a small strip at the bottom so they could include some stuff down here. They've got a wider one at the top. And like I said, I think I'd like to do a whole bunch of little cut flowers here. Just going to be kind of torture, but I think it'll look really nice. So that's the plan. Okay, if I keep it there, it's kind of on screen. So maybe would I want these to be my strips or no? Or no? Or the purple? Purple's a lot compared to this. I think I'm going to use these. Okay. Cut the little edge off first. Oh, and look at this little cutoff strip. It's like it is this paper pretty much, just on a slightly smaller scale. So there's one strip. Yeah, it's a really nice sketch. I agree. I'm like, hey, this is gonna work out great. Okay, and because of my space constraints, because I did such a big circle to kind of contain this, the other thing I can do to kind of, instead of adding another layer with the like a white around the circle, is I could sand the edges of the circle. So that's another way I can bring the edges a little bit of white without making it bigger. So that's backup plan. Now I'm just trying to think like how big I want this top little piece to be. I'm gonna pull out my little ruler for a sec. So I'll do 1 1/4. I might choose to cut it a little smaller, but I think it's good. And I might, this looks like it lines up perfectly, right? So it's gonna look good. I don't even have to cut another piece off of here. So that's good. And then I think we'll do the sanding and then we'll do the horrible fussy cutting. And I can't believe it. You guys convinced me to fussy cut on camera. It's not that I'm bad at it. It's just that I don't like doing it. But sometimes it's worth it, right? Sometimes it's just worth it. Okay, so it'll be good. But we're gonna sand this first. Now, normally, actually, this might work out great. Because this thing loves following me around. This might work out really good. Okay, so I keep a sanding block handy. There's a couple of them here, but I think this one will probably work. So I actually just take it right to the edge of my desk. Come on, follow me over here. Come on. Where are you when I want you? Okay. There we go. We'll take this right to the edge of my desk, and I just kind of put it just barely right at the edge. And that's how I get it to do the white, and it's in control. My paper, I don't have to mess around with it. Like, you can try doing it in your hand, but that's way harder. And caution, if you like your table too much, then be careful about doing this. Maybe find something different to put it on. Like, I like my table and all, but this is also my work table, so I have no qualms about doing this. It's not something I do on every single page, so I'm not too worried, but it could definitely damage your space. So don't wreck your house, okay? Don't say, Alice, you wrecked my house. I'll be like, that's on you, girl. So. And the good thing is I didn't vacuum today, so now when I'm getting all these little paper crumbs all over the place, I don't even feel that bad about it, because it's not like I vacuumed right before I did this, so it's all good. Oh boy. Okay, so I've done part of the circle right now. Now, here's where, like, the design is right in the middle, right, of this. Well, not right in the middle, it's off to the side. But would it make more sense for me to have part of my circle off to the side so that I have a little more room? I think it might. So do I have to sand the whole way around? Probably not. So Alice is getting ready to cheat again. There we go. So that, oh, I do want the design to be the right way. And I did not start in the right place. Oh, that feels upside down. You know how some paper has a right way up? So apparently this one does too, even though it's just a floral. So I guess we made it all the way around the circle after all. I couldn't just cheat. Okay, up here. Come up here. So nuts. This is so crazy. Okay. Well, this was not the camera I was planning to use. And the other one tested out great. Then I decided to be a jerk. Okay, so that just gives us this little bit of white around the edges. I might even trim the edges on these down a little bit so they're a little less woohoo, right in your face white. And I think that's actually going to look a little bit better. Just going to split the difference on them and make them a little bit smaller. If anybody doesn't keep a little trash can on your desk space for dealing with little bits as you're scrapbooking, honestly, you've seen me lose things 3 times already on this desk today, and that's a pretty common occurrence around here, let's be real. But it's one of the things that really helps to kind of maintain so that the stuff is here but it's not as trash sitting on the desk is having a little trash can on my desk space. And then you just take it and dump it whenever. But I made these ones ages ago. They're barely holding up. It was like OXO soup something or other, but it says trash. It sat on the table. It used to be way cuter. They look a little damaged now, but I tell you, it's very helpful. So question, do you keep a trash bag on your space? Yay or nay? So there we go. I think we're gonna run that circle off the edge a little bit. So I have a little more space for all of these flowers because like they're big. These are big flowers. White acrylic paint around the edge. Oh, yes, that would be super good. Look at me. It's like following me over here. And come on. Come on. Back to the project. Come on. Focus, will you? When I start talking to you guys, it goes a little wonky. Okay, let's cut this edge off and then we're gonna get cropping. This is a lot. I think I'll use my big scissors. And I'm actually looking for slightly smaller pieces. So, because the big ones are going to be rather big. I may have to cut some of the big ones into smaller ones. In fact, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Worst case scenario, I chop it up and I hate it, and then I need something else and I do something different. Wouldn't be the first time, but let's try not to go for that today, okay? And one of the things, like when you're cutting out stuff like this and you're going to piece together like a part, don't discount the little partial flowers that are on the sheet. Just because they're partial, sometimes you need that little perfect little filler and it creates a layer or something like that. So while I'm not focusing on them right now, you will see that I'm keeping them handy, right? I'm keeping them handy. Now, there was like 1 or 2 flowers on this chipboard, and there was also a couple of flowers in those little papery pieces. So I will also be looking to those to see what kinds of help they can provide to potentially save me from a little less cutting. So. Yes, fun times. Okay, a pop out. They're cute like that, right? So I will say I just recorded, well, earlier this week, I recorded the next episode of the Scrap Happier podcast to kind of give you a little sneak peek of what is to come. And I've gone back to the 10 episode series that I was working on a while back, and it's about scrapbooking yourself. So I've got 2 episodes kind of in the middle of that, but then we're back to the series again, and there'll be 10 episodes in the end that talk about different ways of scrapbooking yourself. And as I work my way through that series, it's been so fun looking for sample layouts that help to demonstrate some of the topics that we're discussing. Yeah, so that's just been a really good thing. So that should be out on Tuesday mornings. I have it all set and ready to go out, and then we should be back, hopefully, crossing my fingers here, but hopefully weekly on Tuesdays again. And that's the plan. It took me a little bit to get it all implemented, but I think we're back on track. One of the things is I don't have my editor right now, so I had to do my own editing. So if it's not as tight and clean as normal, sorry. I had to do it myself. Back to the old days of doing it myself. Ryan, he tightens things up a little bit more. He takes out a little bit more of my dead air than I do. But he's better at it. I like that topic for the podcast. Oh yeah, and like this time, it's something that like the whole scrapbooking yourself, to me, it feels so it feels so important to me. Like it's something that I really try to lean into, not only on my own pages and the stuff that I share, but also in my message that I share when I'm talking to people is, just how significant that can be. I don't know if anybody here happened to see um, the video that I posted on Instagram yesterday. I posted a video. It's about 3 minutes, so it's like longer than a reel, but it's just on my on my post. It's the one directly newer, like it's the newest one right now. But if you're watching on the recording, it is right next to the Remembrance Day post or Veterans Day post if you are in the US. So you can see that next to there. It is an album or a book that was made of a scrapbook. So it's copied as a scrapbook that's been copied. See, these are going to be going across here. Isn't this going to be pretty? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so it's going to be great. This is a big cluster. I'll put that one to the side for now. So yeah, anyways, this book that I shared a recording of yesterday was a scrapbook that my husband's grandfather made during World War II. Nancy says, I saw it. What a treasure. Oh my gosh. I was really careful about sharing it because some of his drawings, some of the things that he wrote, like it's not all social media friendly. Like it was a war and they were in a war, and so that's yeah, he was in the Royal Canadian Air Force and he did repairs to the aircraft, and he actually had pictures of some crash sites where they were going and kind of cleaning up stuff and grabbing parts for repairs and different things. So yeah, it was interesting to kind of go through the book. Yeah, true life, real life is not always pretty. Very much so. And it's a war journal, like it's a war scrapbook. So it's going to really capture that moment. And I think like with my own scrapbooking, like one of the things that I really want to inject is the lens through which I see the world. And so you see that come through in his book. And he actually was pretty artistic in a cartoony kind of way. He would draw little diagrams. And so even just seeing his little diagrams that he drew, and I showed my boys last night the book, right? Because they're like, well, how come we've never seen this before? Like, I've had this out before. Like, you just, I don't know, whatever. So I'm showing it to you now. But yeah, they're looking and they're like, wait, who drew those pictures? And I'm like, that was your great grandfather. And they're like, whoa, dad draws just like him. I'm like, he totally does. My husband draws exactly like his grandpa. And so I commented on that to him last night. And he's like, well, who do you think taught me to draw? So I'm like, well, that would make sense. Right? Like that would make sense. But yeah, it was just really really neat. So if you haven't checked it out on my Instagram, I don't dig into it too much. I try to make sure that what I've shared kind of has that message about scrapbooking and our significance. And I think, obviously they're in a war, that that's going to be a significant time in life, but we don't always know what is significant in our life at the time that it's happening. And so I really think that as we scrapbook and we tell our stories, we don't necessarily know the significance. Like we just, we're 2 years past the beginning of the COVID pandemic. I don't know what are the technical words that we use as far as that? I don't know. Let's not discuss it too much. But oh, there we go. Apparently I'm talking over there now. But I think that many of us have included different observations of our life and what the changes were like and what, how that affected us. And I just think that that really adds a piece of history to our story. And it's easy to see the significance when it's something like a pandemic, but it's not always easy to see the significance when you're scrapbooking the laundry that you have to do. Right. But I really like including stories like that in my books too. I have a page that talks about how much I hate laundry. It shows piles of laundry. I call it the laundry loather because that's the worst chore ever. But I think that even including that, it just documents part of the time. It's like, I hate laundry. And it's like, really, it's so easy compared to how laundry used to be. In that book, there was actually a diagram that I saw, like one of his little cartoon drawings shows somebody rubbing something on like an actual washboard. I'm like, oh, yep, like it could be that hard, but it's not. um, Daniela says, I saw it too. This makes history come to life, and it's good to remember this. Yeah, and for many of us, that's quite removed. And if you didn't have somebody in your family that was like directly, involved in wartime efforts, or you haven't had a military person in your family or anything since then, I'm not just talking about like that war, like there's a lot going on in the world. But yeah, it's kind of I think by other people sharing their pieces, like it really helps us to see, right? And often when it's in our own family, sometimes people don't talk about those things. So being able to see the things that he wrote in his own time during the middle of it was quite interesting. And it's really not a lot of personal feelings. You get more of that shared through ways of humor, through his diagrams. And so that was really interesting too, because I think that comes across sometimes for us in how we're sharing our stories too. Like sometimes it's just easier to share something hard if you're doing it through the lens of humor. Sometimes you talk about things that are difficult, but you talk about whatever lightened the mood while things were hard, rather than necessarily digging into the hard things. Because like, I get it, that stuff's hard. so yeah, yeah, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check it out. It's, like I said, just a little 3-minute video. I haven't gone like too in depth. I've shared a couple of things that I thought were quite interesting, and then kind of left trying to edit at the same time for some of the images. Yeah, interesting, but not really. I didn't want it to feel too much like I'm just like not showing you this stuff. It was, yeah. Anyways. Ramona says, a treasure for sure. Reminder that our story matters. And yeah, Daniela says, I think scrapbooking the pandemic will also be interesting to go back to in a few years. I agree. And I think that I looked back at a couple pages I made in 2020, and I'm so glad I made those, because I could not remake them now, because I don't have the same fear and anxiety that I had at the time, right? And that changes the way you tell the story. Lindsay says it was very special for you to share. Sharon says, I found letters from my dad to his mom when he was in the Navy in World War II. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's the things that you write to your mom, right? Ugh. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, it's good stuff. like I said, podcast is back. Sneak peek. We're talking about personality and capturing your personality. And so we talk about personality types a little bit. And we talk about what your personality is. We talk about some different things that you can do to capture that for your pages. I think like I had a lot of fun putting it together. There's like a little bit of like learning kind of stuff involved because yeah, I like that. And then there's also a bunch of I think practical stuff, and I shared some examples of pages. So one thing um that I also do is when I do the with scissors, these are the Tim Holtz tonic scissors. I think they have black handles now, but the fact that they fit your whole hand doesn't cause as much stress. Ramona's asking about my scissors. I think I have them linked on my faves page actually, so you can go to scraphappy.org/faves FAVES, and like if you are looking for a pair, I think I have them linked on there. Something I need to update again, but I'm pretty sure that as for tools wise, I have those linked. One thing about this, you'll notice I'm not trying to cut everything out of a big page. I kind of cut the things and then I try to do as little cutting as possible because I turn the paper a lot. And am I doing the most perfect job ever? No, but is it going to work just fine? Absolutely. It's going to look amazing. It's going to look amazing. Yeah. So some of my favorite tools are listed on there. Some like it has lots of affiliate links. So just be warned, like I do fill it with affiliate links. And then if you buy something, it doesn't cost you more, but then they give me like a little, well, with Amazon, not very much. I'll tell you. With Amazon, not very much. The other places are a little better. But whatever. It's this is one more thing. Everything counts, right? Okay, I think I'll take this cluster too. So I think we're getting close to enough pieces, but I think this cluster right here will be great. So I'm gonna go in and grab that one. And I'm gonna just cut that leaf off. Yeah, so yeah, super fun. But personalities, oh, so fun. And then when I was trying to think of which layouts I was going to kind of use to share my points, like I shared them in a blog post. It's on Scrap Happy. It's not up there yet because it'll come out Tuesday. But the other ones will be there, and you can always search them by the episode number. So when you listen to an episode, you can go to scraphappy.org/episode number, like whatever the number is, and then that takes you right to that episode. Trying to make it easy. Or you can just click podcast up in the menu, and then all of the things are sorted there. So that's an easy way to go and see the layouts that I mentioned, the personality ones, which I think will be a lot of fun. What did we do already? Did we do influences? Good question. I have to look. So I made the whole list of 10 things. Well, I made a list of things about that you can scrapbook about yourself. And then when I looked, I'm like, oh, this is like 10 different things. That's perfect. So each one gets broken into an episode so that it's like bite-sized, manageable, and that it's easier for me to put together too. Okay, so I think that's enough. Ooh, I do like that this one has more orange. Got some more orange here, and I think we need to like move some of the colors around a little. So now it's just laying these out in the best way. I think I might need one more of those little purple flowers. There's another one right here too. They kind of look punchy. I use the Fisker scissors that have the long handles, no holes, and are kind of spring-loaded, says Lynette. Super sharp and pointy and great for fussy cutting with little hand. Yeah, the spring-loaded ones. Definitely those are good fussy cutters. Because I don't do a lot of fussy cutting, maybe I would do, no, I honestly wouldn't do more. I honestly wouldn't do more. So yes, that's a cool thing. Spring loaded. So good recommendations. Now you know. Anybody that struggles with fussy cutting. I don't say I struggle, I just don't like doing it. To me, it's boring. It's like coloring. Like, thanks, but no. Thanks, but no. That's not. Okay. Plenty of this paper left. Would be somewhat interesting to use, but he could use like more surf. Oh, that's one thing I might be able to use this purple for some tag pieces, a little extra. Oh, should be good. Okay, lots of good stuff coming up. Okay, this and this and this. I think I'm gonna have to stick this circle down to make sure that I have it placed right so that I have enough room. Okay, take all my flowers and then I'm gonna stick it over just a little scooch. It says I do a lot of fussy cutting, especially if I'm taking a Vicky Booten class. For sure. She is gonna put you to work. But like the payoff is there, right? And she's already designed it. So you're like, oh, this is gonna work out great. Sometimes when you're like designing your own thing, you're like, well, I hope this works out. Otherwise, I did a lot of fussy cutting for nothing. Okay, so now I'm curious because you guys know I don't like stitching, I don't like coloring, and I don't like fussy cutting. I find them all like very time intensive and tedious. What are your things? Like, what are your things that you're like, I try not to do that? Another one for me was learning how to do digital scrapbooking. I just didn't like it because I wanted to like touch my things. Ooh, this is pretty. Did I line it up straight? It'll be fine. It's gonna be covered up with like tons of flowers. Okay, I'm gonna stick all these other pieces on. So they got some little tags at the bottom. I think mine will be a version of that. We'll see if I do that. So I think that paper would be beautiful. Some of your Hawaii pictures too. Now that the flowers are cut out, they really resemble a lei. Oh yes, that would be pretty. And let me tell you, I did not scrapbook all my pictures from like going to Hawaii. We have returned a few times. Last year we went and it was amazing. Like amazing. So, although I think I've thought that every single time. Okay, now I can see what are you guys not like doing either. Lynette, oh, using my Cricut to cut things out. I have so much money invested in it, but I hardly use it. I don't know if you heard me talk about how I couldn't get my thing to print on my silhouette right before like last night. I was trying to do it last night and I could not get the software to work. I'm like, oh, new computer. And I thought, I'll just be so smart. I'll uninstall the software. I'll reinstall the software. It's going to be fine. No. Mary, no sewing or coloring, right? Torture and torture. I agree. Let's see. Nancy says, I don't mind fussy cutting, but I haven't done sewing. I need to try it. There you go. See, like if you don't mind fussy cutting, maybe sewing would also be okay. Like that little hand stitchy stuff, like it's just not for me. But knowing that about myself, knowing that that's not my thing, just means that I can streamline my focus and put my focus into things that I enjoy more, right? I think that sometimes knowing what we don't like is just as important as knowing what we like. So soundbite of the day, can I, right? Like that's a good one. Soundbite of the day. Yeah, knowing what we like and what we don't like is important. flower. I need to cover the edges of it, and I think this one needs to be rounded. Let's see what else. Sharon says no to digital scrapbooking here. Can't read and cut. No digital scrapping here. Too much invested in paper. No new fancy electronic cutting because I have a Big Shot and Cuttlebug. And I better turn this back on. Big Shot and Cuttlebug. See, and I think like we invest in certain tools, and then it makes sense for us to kind of make the most of those tools, right? Gotta maximize their use. But like honestly, if it's not making me happy, then it's just not gonna happen. Okay, there's a big orange flower here and a couple of leaves. And then what was in this packet here? There's like barely any. That other kit, that Paige Evans kit, I got like all those florals. Here I've got one. Here's one. I'll use it, but you know, it's one. That's one that I didn't have to cut out. So it counts. There. So that's the basic plan. Okay, so now I can like start sticking them down. And I think what I'll do is I'll stick parts of them down low and then parts of them popped up. So let me get my ridiculous roll of foam tape ready. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And let's see. Deborah says, I hate fussy cutting, digital, and sewing. We're buddies, Deborah. we're buddies. We're on that same path. Bonnie says, my die cut machine broke, so I'm using up my stash of alpha stickers. Right? That's like almost unfair, right? They're not allowed to break. We put all this money into those things. That's like that's illegal. No breaking allowed. Okay. Oh, there's like an extra little piece here. So I don't like this big roll of tape. I'm just gonna tell you, I got it from scrapbook.com. I don't like it. It's almost like too sticky, and it even gums up my non-stick stickers. I've had much better rolls of non-stick tape that was like sticky but not ridiculous, and yeah, this one's kind of driving me crazy. And I lost the one, and so I bought another one. Then I found it. so I have two of these ridiculous rolls, and I'll just say, not a fan. Yeah, it's not my thing. So let's put this one under. And we'll put this one over a little bit. So I'm just doing some unders and overs, and then I've got a couple of smaller pieces that I can pop up a little bit more for extra dimension. So, you know, it's not like I have a plan here, people. just in case anybody's like, oh, she knows exactly what she's doing. No, she doesn't. she doesn't, but you know, it's fine. Let's see. Bonnie says no to digital scrapping, and Lynette says I like to hand stitch, but I don't have the time for it. Oh, see, if you like it, there's got to be somewhere you can like squish it in, right? I'm all about more is more, which you may notice from time to time on my pages. They're not exactly subtle. I don't really do subtle that well. That's really not my strength. But that's okay. We all have different strengths. And just because mine isn't in subtlety, that's okay. Let's see. I've gotten really good at using the stamps that look like stitchings. It's Lynette. I am really good at, and I just shared this recently in a thing that we did in Scrap Happy, I think. I showed them my best cheating for the stitched look. It's like white gel pen, and then you go along with like a paper piercer and pierce your holes after, and it looks so good. As long as you keep that white gel pen flowing, it looks so good. And honestly, after that, I'm like, nah, I don't even have to sew anymore. And like, I have a sewing machine, it's set up here, like I could use it, but honestly, if I have sewing on one thing, I want white, and then the next time I want black, and then you have to go and rethread that machine, and I'm like, nah, I don't think so. That's a no. Okay, and this needs a little bit of up here. Oh, I think along this edge here too. I do a little bit of curling of edges and stuff as I go as along too, to kind of give it a little extra dimension. So if you're wondering about like the little things like that, that's what I'm doing as I go. I don't even think about it anymore. It's such a natural part of when you've already worked with like little die cut pieces. But yeah. Daniela says, no digital scrapping for me. I scrapbook, do something with my hands that does not have to do with computers. Oh, she scrapbooks to do something with her hands that doesn't have to do with computers. So probably working with computers, I'm guessing. Where it's like, I need stuff that's not computers. I will tell you, I have been so fired up since coming back from California. Well, here's my camera deciding where it wants to focus again. I've been so fired up since coming back from California. I've just had so many ideas. I've been getting so many things organized and straightened out, and I am really excited with some of the stuff that's coming up. Really excited. Yeah, on Wednesday, this coming up week, we'll be announcing our theme for the February load. Is we're going to be doing our scrapbook or our happy hour. So we always do our prizes and our announcements at the happy hour. And I've been getting a few things tidied up in the background that had been overlooked. And I've got some new organizing software. And I tell you, you guys, like, so I know a few of you out there have been using things like Trello for organizing, and I was like, whoa, that's way too complicated. That's way too much for me. It was just, yeah, it was not my thing. Well, I think I have found my thing. I think I found it. So I got introduced to software that's called ClickUp. If anybody like has tried Asana, I think it's similar to Asana with a few different features. Don't ask me, I'm not the expert at Asana, but yeah, I like it. So I've been building all kinds of systems into it, and that's where it's going to be like the most amazing for me. Okay, I have to cut this edge off so that I can attach my photos, and then I'll add the little tiny flowers. And then we'll do the draw, because like I'm going to add some more stuff, but we definitely need to do the draw. And I feel like it's time for a little bit of that, right? Do the draw. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Candace says no digital scrapping for me. I'm on the computer for work and I need the tactile feel of paper for a break. Right? So good. Okay, well, these ones don't really matter if I cut them off right now, do they? Oh, well, I'll just do it anyways because I'm here. And then I don't have to pull it out again. You guys, so cute. Okay, so now my pictures will pop in like this, like that, I think. And then I'll be able to put that title with those words from the sticker sheet. This one. This was the perfect day perfect day. It totally was. That's going to be the thing. And then some kind of little extra embellishments, maybe. These flowers are a lot. So we'll see. Because sometimes you just don't. Moderation. Like I know what that means. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go back and do the draw. Right? Hello, Debbie. You guys are just in time because we are literally moving right now to go do the draw. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Oh, I can do it on this phone, I think. So what are you using ClickUp for? So it is allowing me to track all of my different projects that I have. Okay, I'm gonna switch to camera view. This is fine. I have to remember where I do this right now because I'm doing. Oh, there. Oh yeah, I can use this camera. Right. Okay. So yeah, it allows me to manage the different projects because I have a lot of different projects with different deadlines, and sometimes things get a little tight because I'm like, oh, that's coming up. I forgot. And so this is helping me track all of that, but it allows me also to put different things that are like repeating systems, kind of like standard operating procedures, which sounds super boring, but I call them processes. That feels less intimidating. And then I can just like repeat a process over and over. And you think that should have made sense for me to do before, but I hadn't done it. So like, that's just the reality of where it is, because sitting down to organize that system, that's like not a fun thing. So I don't do it. But yeah, I got into this. I ended up taking like a mini crash course to learn it. And then I did a whole bunch more studying to learn it. And I'm already amazed at how well like it can actually work for me. Like even for me that doesn't like do this kind of stuff very well. But yeah. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that. Let me have a look here. So I missed a couple of comments. Bonnie says I'm on a computer all day, so digital does not appeal to me. Paper scrapbooking is my therapy. And Candace says that Crystal says, Candace, I feel the same way. She needs the tactile for a break. Nash said, I promised my husband that if our house ever burns down, that I would switch to digital scrapping. Otherwise, I prefer the tactile aspect of scrapbooking. That's kind of scary, intimidating, and please take pictures of your layouts and save them digitally offsite, because we actually had a house fire back in 1996 and that's a horrible thing. So just gonna say so yeah. Okay, so love the colors. I wasn't sure. I know some of the colors are not my favorite colors, Tammy. Yeah. So yeah, we're going for it. Okay, so let's do our draw. So today we have a kit to give away from the Scrap Room. It is the Flavors of the Month November kit. So they actually have this sitting aside for you. So even if they sell out, you will get your kit because they're so good. Just treat us so well. And so you will get all 4 of the mini kits that I showed today. All 4 of those mini kits make up the one Flavors of the Month kit. And you can go and see the kits at scrap-room.com. And let's do our draw. We have 28 in the house right now, and one of them is me. So that's out of 27. You guys have good odds today. That's crazy. Let's see. Random number generator. Bring that up. And out of 27. And I gotta pull the participants list up. It's like, show me. There we go. And got that pulled up. So out of 27, I'm gonna hit the generate button. It says 11. So let's count. 9, 10, 11. Gail Hind. Gail Hind, congratulations. You are our winner. I always write that on the sheet. So Gail, I need you to email me, please. Send a message to alice@alicebull.com and we will get you hooked up with that. So congratulations, Gail. So I'd like to see, hopefully she will comment and then I'll know that she gets it. But actually we know Gail, I think. She says, thank you. Yay. Okay. So I'll type it here in the chat for you as well. So send me a message, include your mailing address, and obviously it will have your email, and I will pass that on to Rochelle, and she will get you hooked up lickety split. As long as she gets the information from me, she sends them out lickety split. So anyone that didn't get one lickety split, I'm sorry. It's way better when I don't mail things, but I do try to stay on top of those emails. Yeah, let's not talk about emails right now. I got way behind again. I was ahead of them for a while, but I got way behind, and it's like, anybody that has to deal with emails all the time, like, which nowadays is most of us, but I get a ridiculous number of them. So I really need to do another sit down and unsubscribe. I did a 100 unsubscribe challenge, and it like almost didn't make a dent. Like, that was crazy. Like, so crazy. So crazy. Marge says, congrats, Gail. Congrats. So many people are saying congrats. Oh, enjoy your kit. She will. Like, do you see how great this is? My pictures aren't attached yet, but like, so fun, right? Like, so many fun things that you can do. That's the thing, right? With our scrapbooking, we take all of these different things, and yeah, it's great. Nash says, remember the days when actual people emailed us versus ads nonstop, right? So some Fridays, not this Friday, but some Fridays I send a Friday 5 email, and sometimes I send it out on Saturday. Let's be real, like, that happens too. It's more like a sunshine email. So a scrappy sunshine, I send out like 5 little scrappy sunshine things. And it's just a way for me to kind of keep in touch with people and let them know different events we have coming on, like the Scrapbook live events, like what we're doing right now, where you could win a kit. All of my members get that automatically. But if they want other stuff from me, I don't send a lot of emails. Like, let's be real, like, that's a lot of work. So I only send out the good stuff, and I want it to be something that's worth your time. If you are going to take the time to open an email, I want you to be like, ooh, that was good. Yeah, Sharon says, I like your emails, Alice. Thank you. Yeah, so I really like having the Friday 5s or scrappy sunshine as you go. Tammy Lee says, I'm buried in emails. Tammy, me me too. I had done such a good job of getting caught up. We tried a folder system. It was good for 5 seconds, and then it was not a good system, and I need to undo the folder system now. I literally don't know how to undo it. So yeah, definitely not going to unsubscribe to the Friday 5. Well, thank you. But I do keep it separate than our member ones. So I do put a special unsubscribe on things so that you know what you're unsubscribing from. And all of our member ones are set up separate. So kind of, I don't know, it's all confusing. Ooh, Jackie says, I deleted 267 emails just before coming on here today. Right. I'd be embarrassed to tell you there was 6,000 in my box. But like, that's a lot. It used to be way worse though, like way worse. But yeah, like I said, I did get caught up at one point, and it was amazing. And that happened for 5 seconds, and then it stopped. So yes, if you're feeling bad about emails and overwhelm and stuff like that, girl, we're friends. Your emails are happy mail, says Danielle. That's the goal. That's the goal. Here's the confessions. I love it. Lynette says, currently there's 31,360 on my phone. Nancy is like our superhero, our email superhero. I managed to 0 daily. I don't have my little noisemaker thing on my desk, because I used to, for some things, I have this little noisemaker, and it gives you applause. But seriously, Nancy, like, that's like a superhero skill. So we appreciate that. Somebody out there knows how to do that. Love it. So good. But yeah, with my newsletter. Oh, anybody that's watching the replay, or everybody that's here, you're already on it. But unless members, actually, that would be separate, you can go to scraphappy.org/subscribe, and then you can get onto the newsletter. And like I said, I only send out the good stuff. So Crystal says 29,746 unread. If I haven't gotten back to you, well, it's not going to happen. Right. Yep, I did a massive email purge of things that were like all of the subscribe things. And the worst part is like I didn't want to get rid of stuff because like, oh, there is that course. And sometimes I do go back to things like that. Like that's kind of crazy, right? Like how many courses are like buried in some email that you got. Yeah. Lindsay says, Nancy, way to go. I have quite a lot saved, but I do have folders to help organize. And I'm usually caught up with reading replies and deleting the promotions. Ooh. Tammy says, my inbox is perpetually at 99 plus. When it only tells you that number, right? Like it's a sanity saver. That's the sanity saver when they only tell you 99 plus. Yeah. So there you go. If anybody else was like feeling so overwhelmed by that, just know like you're not the only one. Everybody is, well, not everybody, like people other than Nancy are struggling with this, and that's a real thing. And yeah, it's tough, right? We have a lot of things to do. You think about the world and how much it's changed, the amount of things demanding our attention are huge. Like we still have families and spouses and work and all the things that people used to have years ago, you know, cooking for people in the house. Like, yeah, technically I guess you're supposed to. Actually I don't use that word a lot, supposed to. It's like yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, it's good. Ross says my inbox is always at the 400 plus mark. When it hits 500, I do a huge purge and get it down to a couple hundred. Yeah, and so I always appreciate it when people have patience with me if I have missed something, because that's reality. We've tried to set in some systems that have dealt with that, but with this new system, should help. It's been a little struggle lately, though. I'll tell you, my tech guy has been off at school and not as available to me as normal. And I'm like, oh, I've missed having that access to instant help. So, and then the summer when he was working with his dad, that was also tricky. Well, this is looking really nice. I need to add some words. I want to add a little bit of stuff. I don't know. Oh. Okay, so I'm getting ideas. Okay, I'll show you what I've got going on here. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Okay, let's see what we got. Will that camera come back again? Looks like it. There we go. I've added a few extra little flowers to the flow down here. It's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And I think now all I have left, I'm going to add my title, and I'm thinking that this cluster here is going to come up here, maybe. Wouldn't want to commit yet. So yeah, I'm liking this. Does it look even enough? I might need a little something underneath there. I'll tuck it in there. That'll be good. Kind of the same color, but I think it fills like a little hole that was there. So great. I'll cut this out right now. And then I'll add the words. And I think this is so close to done, other than some journaling. Now I am questioning myself about where I was going to try to sneak journaling on this. And it might be the case where if it's going into an album, that I might just do an insert in between the pages. If I just want to make pretty pages, sometimes I'll do that. Let me see if I can think of where an example is of that. Got a couple of different examples where I have done something like that. Maybe in here. Maybe in here. Older. Is it in this book? I'm trying to like organize the books a little. Nope, it's not in this one. Good question. Good question. No, that's all older. Oh, maybe it's in that book. This is the part, you guys, I tell you, trying to find layouts. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Okay, so here's something that I've done when I don't have journaling that's going to fit on my page. So if I make a page and say it doesn't fit, this one I had lots of words, and it's like tracking me the wrong spot. Come on up here. Come on, look over here. Silly thing. Okay, I'm not liking this. But I had lots of words to say, and so I've got my layout, but you can see I've got a lot. So with this, I made a giant flip that's just the words to add to this whole page so that I could share a whole bunch of story, but still just have one page because I really didn't have that many photos. This is me as a cadet. I was in the Army cadets for 5 years as a teenager. It was super fun. And I got to do so many different things, as you can see from different stories that I told, but this was a great way for me to put them all onto one page. So just like that's kind of a way, like whether it's through like a flap like this that you add to the layout. Sometimes I'll have like a small piece that like just is insert in between layouts in a book so that it's like a, like a 6x8 page just with the journaling between other layouts. That's another way that I add extra journaling. Let's see. This is a dent corner. Dent corner. There we go. So yeah, that's just one way that I can add more journaling to a page that doesn't necessarily have room for journaling. Another thing that I will do sometimes, and this would be a good candidate for it, is if I have either too many pictures for a page to kind of make them all fit in a way that's going to be pretty. Sometimes I'll use a flip flap, which is just a little pocket. Like these ones are 4x6, but I have smaller ones as well. And they flip up and let you see some different pictures, and you can hide some journaling, which that would be a really good option for this one as well, to add some extra journaling for that one. So yeah, those are options for getting the journaling on the page. I don't like to not include it. I really like to include it. I don't include it live because that would be way boring. Worse than watching me fussy cut. Let's be real, because I have to be thinking and I can't be just chatting. At least with fussy cutting, I can be chatting. But yeah, I think that getting the stories onto our pages is super important of the process, but it's not always the pretty part, right? And so much of our focus tends to be on making our pages look nice that it's easy to try to leave out the thing that's actually more important. And I'm just gonna leave you with this, since I'm gonna wrap up our little thing. Oh no, we haven't done a little bit of show and tell. I forgot about that. So before we wrap up, we'll do some show and tell. If you'd like to share, then you'll be invited to share with us something that you're working on today. Please remember, these get recorded and they get shared on my YouTube channel, which is public. Anytime you put something on the internet, it is public. So whether you want it to be public or not, the internet is the internet. So you're not in control of it once you put it out of your own hands. Yeah, so please consider that for if you want to share, but we would love to see if you're willing to share. It doesn't have to be a scrapbook page. It could be cards. It could be your Christmas cards. It could be all the other things. How do you photograph your pages with hidden journaling? I need to photograph pages. I take multiple pictures, Mary, and it's a pain in the butt. So for that layout that I just showed you, I have a picture of it, like when it's folded and closed, and then I have a picture of it folded open, and then I have a picture where I just look at just the journaling parts that are like separate from the photos and stuff too. So I actually have like multiple photos for that layout, but I look at it and for me, that made the most sense to have it like that. So yeah, I know it's not a great answer. Like I wish there was like, oh, it's so easy, you just have to do this. But another thing that can work really nicely is to videotape those kind of pages so that you have a little video recording of them. And I really like that. And then I'll sometimes read out the journaling as well. So that is good. So this is going to probably go up here. I don't think I'm going to worry about too much stuff. I'll add a few little bits probably, but not too many. I'm going to add the little title in here. And then I think I'm going to turn this photo here into a flip flap, put a little paper underneath it, and have some journaling shared underneath so that I can do that. So look forward to seeing that on my page one day. Yeah, thank you. I have a lot of hidden journaling. Thanks. Well, thank you so much. This has been so fun. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my face, and then I'm going to invite anybody that has made something, anything that you would like to share. If you would like to share it, then please just either wave at me on the camera and we can bring you up, or just turn your mic on, and that seems to be a really good way of bringing people up so that I can see that you're ready to go. Lindsay, yay. Let me bring you up. If you turn your mic on, then you kind of pop to the top of my list. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give a little sneak peek because I just sent a project I did for Simply Stated Design, because I've been doing some projects for them. So I'm going to sneak peek for you guys. I made some tags for a beer advent. I'm getting together this afternoon with 3 other friends. We bought beer and we're making our own advents. So I made these little shaker tags using the Simply Stated paper collection Christmas cardinals. And then I had a beer die. And so they're actually shakers, which it's always hard to tell on camera, but I made 4 of them.
Oh, those are beautiful. Wow. Those are pretty. So Simply Stated, is that
so Chantel, who had Treasured Memories, and for those who are in the area or know, it was a store in Edmonton, and the actual brick and mortar store did close, but she is doing all of her own line still, just through online orders. And it's amazing paper and really fun. And so that was with Christmas cardinals, which there is cardinals involved in the collection, but I just picked all the pieces that, were just the florals and berries and wreaths and all that. So that's what I made last night.
Well, and I think by you showing that, it can be called one thing and it can have that theme of that one thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's all it is. And I think it can be so easy. Like, how many times have we looked at a collection and it's like, I like, the one I think of the most is when the gnome collections came out from Photoplay and they started doing their gnome collections, and some people are like, what am I gonna do with gnomes? I'm like, have you seen, like, every paper doesn't have no, like, they have gnomes on the back of this paper, but like there's no gnomes on the rest of this or anything like that. It was just amazing to kind of see it. So yeah, that's a great example. Well, that's beautiful. They are so lucky to have you making samples for them.
I'll just in case anybody's interested, I'll just pop a link to the website in the chat, because you never know who wants to check stuff out. So
Yeah, that's perfect.
thanks for letting me share.
I love it. Of course. Let's see. So Lindsay Wynell has a message. She says, I had the same with the situation of emails till my provider stopped supporting emails without notice and lost all of them. Oh man. Yeah, my husband actually canceled our old email account without like telling me, and I'll tell you, I was like, but do you know how many things I had controlled through that email? And then how do you recover your account for anything? Oh yeah. So that was a nightmare, I will just say. There we go. And anybody else want to have something they want to share, whether it's like overwhelmingly beautiful like Lindsay, or more just like on like normal human scale. Like, those were so beautiful. Yeah, no, that's great. I love seeing, like, I haven't started my Christmas cards yet, but it's definitely on my mind right now. So I'm getting excited about what I can create and what I'm gonna actually get done for that. But I love sending them out. Like, it makes me happy. So that's gonna happen. Okay, well, last chance. Show us what you got, what you've been making. You've been spending all this time on something. Go ahead and show us. Put your hand up, wave at me, do anything that lets me see that you want to show. Turn your mic on. Ramona, perfect. You turn your mic on and I'll bring you up. Oh, no mic? Sure. I can add you as a spotlight.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah.
I don't do Zoom a whole lot, so every time I do it, I have to figure it out all over again.
I mostly use it from the presenting side, and so then the buttons are just a little bit different. So I'm like the worst person to help people.
Plus, when I did it in 2020, I used my iPad and then I broke it, and the facing camera doesn't work. So it's different on the phone than it is on the iPad for some reason. I don't know why they can't just make everything the same. So I'm just while we were talking, I was just working on a kit. This is the kit that I got at a scrapbooking convention. It's 2 pages. Yeah. It's from,
I like that with all the banners that they have.
Yeah, it's from quick quotes, and then it's got like places for pictures. And I wasn't ready for today, so I knew I had some of these in there left over. I have so many projects that were started at that scrapbook convention that I never finished, so I thought I'll pull one of those out. So that's what I've been working on, and it's got nice little die cuts and ribbon and buttons, and so I was just following the directions and inking the edges while we were talking. So I really haven't gotten much done, but I'll finish it. It got awesome. It was a good jump start for me. It gets me started, and then I'll finish it probably after we go off. So I like that.
Well, sometimes you just need to kind of get the ball rolling, right? Yeah. And once you kind of get things started, then it's like, yes.
Yeah,
now I'm doing it.
Exactly. So thanks for the opportunity. I really enjoyed it. Your page is beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me and thanks for sharing. I know it's always like a little scary at first, but then when people share, it's like, oh, it's just so nice to see what other people are making.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
we kind of all have our own projects and our own styles. And, it's a lot of fun to see.
yeah. I love to see what
Yeah,
everybody's doing and see who
me too.
everybody is.
I'm terrible at a crop because like I want to spend my whole time like just like going and looking over everybody's
Me
shoulders
too.
and seeing what they're doing. It's like, did I get
No,
anything done? Well, no, but like
right,
I have
right.
so many great ideas.
I haven't been to a
Yeah,
live crop
that's
like
awesome.
that in so long. It's been so long since I've been to like a regular live crop. And I found one and
Yeah.
I'm going next week, next Friday, and it's every month. And I'm so excited because it'll keep me going with my scrapbooking, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm so excited to find one because
Well,
I didn't know anybody did it anymore. It's
well,
nice.
and just that inspiration you get from being with somebody else, or like even here when somebody's like, oh, maybe try that thing, right? Or
Yeah.
do this thing, and you get a suggestion from somebody else, and it's like, oh, thank goodness, like that just saved my page, or that just added
Right.
something that
Right.
was really
Right.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
making
love it.
crafty friends,
Right.
that's important, having crafty friends. Yeah.
Uh, it is. It really is. And I don't know, like, I think most of my friends didn't start off as scrapbookers, but they hang out with me for a while and they kind of get pulled into the loop. It's like, well, we can go here to this thing and we can scrapbook together. Like, right, Candace? Did that happen?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't really
So
have any friends who scrapbook. Like so I have some friends that do
you just
art,
have to
but
make them.
yeah, yeah, I will. This thing I'm starting to go to, I hope to. I hope to.
You break them in easy, like you give them some kind of like small, easy, manageable project so that they're like, oh yeah, this was fun, this was easy, right? If they say it's fun or easy, then you're good.
Yeah.
You don't be like, hey, let's start with your wedding album and scrapbook that.
Right, right, really.
Fun and easy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Crafty friends are the best, says Bonnie. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay, last chance. One more, like we've got time for one more share. If anybody wants to share, just be brave and be like, sure, I'll show you. Bonnie, did I see your hand go up? I think I did. Okay, so let
I've
me
been working on a fall page and it's not quite done yet. Can you see that? Wait, let me
well,
turn off the
I
background.
think if you put it right, I know the background's really, and here we go.
Wait a second here. Okay, there we are.
So we've got your
Why am
camera
I?
is
Oh, I got to put the
off
camera on.
right now. There you
I'm
go.
thinking
Perfect.
I've got 2 more pictures to put square pictures on the side. It's just some fall pictures. And I did all these layers and I think, uh-oh, my other one's just stuck together. They're going to go over on the side here. I was thinking wood grain paper behind it.
Nice.
That's
So
pretty.
interesting that you're building up your layers.
I
That's
don't
really
usually do
pretty.
it that
Yeah.
way, but the 2 cardstocks I picked for the background I'm using for matting, so I got to find something else.
Mhm.
But lots of 6x8
Yeah.
scraps or 6x6 pad put together to make little strips.
Nice. Very lots of comments in here saying that it's gorgeous, gorgeous photo and everything else. Thank you so much for sharing. I love it.
Oh, I
love
think I
seeing
put the
what everybody's
picture
up
on
to.
upside down here. I was trying to hurry. I have to take it back off.
It's like, look, it's done. Oh, it's not.
Yeah, so that's
Nobody's
the other
ever
way.
done
But
stuff like that before.
yep, it's wrong.
That's all.
Let's see if I can get it back off. Ooh. I use this tape that I got for free, and it's just so hard.
Super sticky. Oh yes, that's.
I really would like
That might
something else.
be
My My favorite one is not available anymore. So I got to experiment. Anybody got suggestions for their favorite tape?
I've been using a couple of different tape runners that I like because I don't like having to peel the backs off a tape. I find
I
that
know,
very
it's
annoying.
just another
I
step.
like because yeah, like I have it because there's some things you want like stuck like amazingly good, and so then I use that. But even like dealing with phone tape, it's like peeling off the little backing, so annoying. But this one I've been using, it seems to stick really good, but it feels like there's like nothing in the refills. Are these Gina K ones, Gina K designs from Thermoweb, but they seem to stick really nice. And Gina
Thermoweb?
makes a lot of amazing products, and yeah, from Gina K Designs from ThermoWeb. So they're like a dot runner, like they have little tiny dots. And I like that you kind of really control exactly where it's going to go. The other ones I've been playing with are from scrapbook.com, and they just have like the adhesive runner, kind of like a Tombow runner. And that's another one that I've been trying. And
I had
both of them have seemed to be like sticking, but
the Glue Arts was the one I had. It had a little handle, and then you just changed out the
right.
but it wasn't the big thing. I can't handle that really big one. And this was kind of a medium
so it's like
size.
smaller. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones here, like they have replaceable things. So like you just kind of click the button on the side and then it
And it
opens
pops
up
out.
and you just pull this whole piece right out and you pop the new one in. And like they're not complicated. So
That
that's
sounds
important
good.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to have a PhD to figure out how to work my glue. Like, we've
And
all
I
seen
don't
like
like peeling.
the tutorial on how to fill your ATG gun, or did I say the letters in backwards?
I think that's it.
ATG or AG. Okay. We used to have a power company in Alberta. It was AGT, and then when those ATG guns came out, I said them backwards both times. It was terrible.
Are you in
But yeah,
Canada?
it was super fun. I am. I'm in Alberta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
I have Canadian cousins.
Yeah. Canadian cousins. Well, that would be super funny if I knew them.
They're in Nova Scotia
But
area. And
then
one's
that would
in
be extra
Ontario.
funny.
Yeah.
It would be extra funny. I have a really good friend that's from there, so she unless they're related to her, I wouldn't know them. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining me for this Scrapbook Live session for November of 2022. We are going to be doing this again next month, and the best way to keep track of that, there's actually a couple ways. You can go to the Scrap Happy site, and if you look under let me double check and make sure it's right here. The free events, you can actually see a calendar that will tell you as soon as I add it to the calendar, it will tell you when the next Scrapbook Live is, because I always add them to that calendar. Free events. You have to just look for free events and it says free events. And then you click that one and it has the availability of the calendar. So the Google Calendar is on there. And the other thing is signing up for the newsletter. And of course, Scrap Happy members, they get the best information ever. So that is added to their calendar, which is separate than this free calendar. And yeah, and if you use Google Calendars, you can actually subscribe to either one of the calendars, the member calendar or this one. And all of the events get added to your Google Calendar in your time zone, so that it's easy to make sure that you never miss one of our Scrapbook Live events. So thank you so much for joining me. You can find everything at scraphappy.org. That's where you'll find like info about the podcast. And you can follow me on Instagram to see some of the pages and the videos that I share, like the one that I was talking about with that album that I shared yesterday on my Instagram. And that's at Alice Boll, ALICEBOLL. Jennifer says, thank you for a fun crop. You're very welcome. And I just had so much fun. I can't wait to just put the finishing touches on this page and then I can share this up. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And hopefully this will leave you a little happier and happy scrapping, everyone. So, thank you, Alice. So good to see you again. So nice to see you. Like, I love this. Like, I know if we can't be together in person, at least I can gather all my people together in a virtual room and we can all hang. I love it. Okay, I'll talk to you later.